Well, I think there's a grey area that, as a parent, I worry about a lot more. Just quickly, give you a little example. We're on holiday at New Year with Nadia and her family. I think she said that. One day on the beach, bright sunshine, Mark, Nadia's husband, in charge of the kids, and he is hypersensitive. I think, sorry, Mark, too hypersensitive, but he was trying to relax, you know. And so Maddie, her eldest, and the two wee ones, Bonnie and Kiki, were down on the beach, bright daylight, whatever. Then they come rushing up. A guy had wandered past. They were doing cartwheels on the beach. Guy had come up, started chatting, quite a muscular, well-built guy, very friendly. Hi, girls, how you doing? Oh, you're very clever at your gymnastics. Aren't you good? Chat, chat, chat. My daughter, ha, 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 ha. She's like that. And he said, can I help you with your cartwheels? Can I help you with... And so wanted to do that now. Yeah. My daughter would have probably gone for it. Maddie, thank goodness, said, no, I don't think she wants you to help, thanks very much, and they all kind of went away. Now, in terms of talking to the kids after that incident, it was really quite difficult because was he a bad guy? Was he not a bad guy? Do you want to scare them about anyone who's friendly? Or...
So what did you say?
No, well, I mean, to be honest, we all kind of edged around it, and basically it was, if it makes you feel uncomfortable, which is back to this conversation, then, you know, get out of it, scream and shout. You don't have to be polite, just scream and shout. But the thing is, well, it made Maddie feel uncomfortable at 13. It didn't make my daughter feel uncomfortable because she
he was saying,
friendly.
oh, you're great. What
and
he
was,
but see, that's the thing I would worry about. And, you know, I had this with Jack. We did all the, you know, I always said to him about secrets. You know, people shouldn't ask you to keep secrets when you're little, because I think anyone asking a 4-year-old, you know, like, don't tell anybody about this, it's our little secret, is dodgy. But what you don't want to do is make them frightened of everybody, because they were perfectly nice people. You know, if my mum's in a supermarket, or my dad, when he was alive, if he'd have been in the park and a kid's scooter had fallen over, my dad would be the first or to pick them up. And you don't want children going, ah, you know, screaming every time a stranger comes. So how do you find the balance, Jamelia?
There are lovely people, you know, there are lovely people, but it just takes one person to give your child that awful experience that will, you know, can go on to affect them for the rest of their lives. And I think what we need to do as parents is separate our knowledge of sex when talking to our children and you know, just understand that they don't need the details, they just need things explained in a way that's appropriate to them. A 4-year-old, personally with my children, it's, you know, it's saying things like, if somebody makes you feel uncomfortable, you give them polite ways to get out of it. No one is supposed to touch you on any area that you're covered with your, you know, underwear. Those kind of things. That's not scaremongering, and that's not making them scared. It's just another fact of, you know, you should eat vegetables. It's just another fact that they...
It's that bit before it. We hear this word grooming. Yeah. And that's what it is. And people who have got, you know, evil intent towards children don't come up and suddenly, you know, start trying to touch them. They speak to them, they chat to them, they're nice to them, they're friendly with them.
It's not strangers, is it? With
I was just going to say,
even aunties,
statistically, it's somebody they know very well.
I was just going to say, you know, you might think I'm bad for this, but I teach my children to be wary of anyone, to not feel that anyone is above the law, to not feel that anyone is not capable of doing something horrible to them.
When they meet people, do they look at them under suspicion?
No. So it's not that. And for me, it's just little things. It's little things. Okay, for instance, if I've mentioned this before, my house, number one, it's a predominantly, well, it is a female household. It's me and my 2 daughters, and we spend so much time naked. I know that sounds very weird, but we just do. We are just a naked.
Free and easy, don't they, in your house?
Yes. Now, I've recently got a new partner, and so he comes to the house, and now that particularly my youngest daughter is starting to get comfortable, she felt that it was okay to, you know, start stripping off, and I'm like, no, it's not. You know, you have to. It's the same rule as if when anyone comes to the house, you cover up, because it's not appropriate.
That it's a man.
No. It's just appropriate behaviour and knowing how to protect yourself. To me, if she has that rule of thumb, and hopefully that continues on into adulthood, she'll know how to protect herself and just be able to make.
So it's not seeing every guy as a potential sexual predator.
It's more about your self-protection, and and little things like not having secrets. You know, you can talk to me about anything.
Men, though, isn't it? That, you know, I say like men now feel scared about helping a child.
You know, he always says to me, you know, if he was out on his own and he was at the supermarket and he saw a kid crying on its own because it had lost a parent, he might go and find a woman or someone from, but you know, a few years ago, he's gone up and gone, are you okay? Do you want me to help you find your mum? He said, I wouldn't go near a child
so
now.
sad.
Isn't that
And that's
sad?
really, really sad.
It is.
Yeah.
You know, what
I
a
had-
terrible society that is.
I had an incident with Jack. We were in a department store, and you know how when they're young, you always take the boys to the loo, to the ladies with
Yeah.
you, and then they get to that age where they don't want to come in. So he was probably about 6. He's like, well, I don't want to. Can I go to the men's? And stupidly, actually, I said, OK, well, make sure you stay here when we come back. You know, this is where I'll meet you. And the ladies was there, the men's was there. And off we went separately. Came out there, that was fine, we carried on shopping. Later that day, I think it was in the evening, he was having a bath. And he said something about, oh, yes, and, you know, and that man was looking at my willy. And I did all that, yes. You know, and your stomach does that flip. I felt sick, and I said, "Whoa," and I was very calm. And I
Yeah.
said, "Oh, what man?" He said, "You know, when I was in the toilet, and I was having a wee, and the man just kept staring at me." And I thought, "Oh God!" And I said, "Did he talk to you?" And he said, "No, he just stared at me." And I thought, right, this is my opportunity now. I think when those things present themselves,
Exactly.
then I had the talk about, you know, I said it's not really nice for somebody to do that in a toilet. I said you wouldn't do that, and people don't do that. So I said if that ever happens to you two again, you move away. And then I said, did he touch you at all? And he said, no. And I said, what would you do if he did? And he said, you know, boys, or I'd kick him in the shins or something. And I said,
the shin.
yes. He didn't know that word then. And then I said to him, yes, that's good. And I said, and also you shout.
Yeah.
And the lesson I learnt from that is that I never then went separately to the loo. So if he wanted to go into the men's toilets, I would stand outside and say, I'll be just here, shout if you need me.
Yeah.
That's all I used to say to him.
it is
But you worry,
confusing.
don't you, about scaring them.